Origin of Siren Head. Trevor Henderson is a writer and painter specializing in mystical, monstrous, and demonic themes. His passion and love for this mysterious world are immense. The images created by Trevor have become extremely famous, and I think most horror fans have seen them at least once. The most famous of these is undoubtedly Siren Head, a tall, skinny monster with a head that resembles a pair of speakers, a creature more often heard than seen due to its nature. It can easily blend into a forest or even an urban setting with its tall, skinny body. Siren Head often uses its voice mimicry abilities to lure and trap victims. People often go missing without leaving a trace. Hello again, it's me, and today let's delve into Siren Head, the fictional entity created by Trevor Henderson in an extremely realistic and hair-raising way, as well as his most famous character. The stories about creatures created by Trevor Henderson aren't overly complex but are enough to send shivers down the spine of most who know about them. Perhaps a significant contribution is due to Trevor's highly realistic edited and created images. They leave viewers confused, knowing that these creatures aren't real but still haunted by the thought, what if they were? What if this creature is really lurking in my house right now? What if there's something lurking in a dark corner of the room watching me? Yes, the creatures created by Trevor Henderson aren't just entities existing in the shadows of this world. They exist, and they enjoy harming humans. Siren Head can mimic the sounds of sirens, radio broadcasts, and fire alarms. It also stores and replays sounds from the final moments of its victims. Siren Head lurks in dense forests or deserted roads, preying on lost individuals and even children. The cries for help you hear at night could very well be Siren Head's attempt to lure you into its trap. Siren Head is known for its towering figure, approximately 40 feet tall, with a head resembling a siren, symbolically replacing its actual head. This creature is known to be extremely aggressive and will hunt humans like prey. It often roams rural towns and forests, with its limbs long and thin, disproportionate, with long arms almost as long as its entire body, ending in two large skeletal hands. The head and neck of the Siren Head creature are supposed to be a flesh column with two sirens attached, facing in opposite directions, with some black cables wrapped around the neck and tucked into the shoulders. The two sirens are connected to the neck by tendons and can rotate around like the head of an owl. Despite having no eyes, it can still see and manipulate technology by emitting sounds through electronic devices. It spends most of its time standing still, but is capable of moving very fast. The injuries inflicted by Siren Head are found in ruptured eye sockets, brain membranes, gums, and broken and bleeding sinuses. Weapons like arrows or spears are generally ineffective against this entity. Below are the photos of Siren Head captured and posted online by Trevor Henderson along with their descriptions. Siren Head was first spotted in 1966 when a family vacationing in the Arizona desert captured images of the creature in a cemetery. 20 years later, on July 16, 1995, Chad and his friends were hiking in the Tanyard Creek area where they found Siren Head lurking. According to Chad, his friends were grabbed by something gigantic striding through the trees, mimicking their voices. Chad was found alive with some injuries while his friends had disappeared, either captured or killed by Siren Head. The photo of Siren Head in Indiana, where citizens began mysteriously disappearing, was seen on the streets in one of the pictures. However, these encounters are not the first discoveries about Siren Head. There are ancient rock paintings of Siren Head found across the North American continent. This indicates that Siren Head is not a new creature on Earth, but has been here for a very long time. A family of 4 disappeared from their suburban home on the evening of September 18, 2018, with no signs of forced entry into the house. Neighbors reported the disappearance of this family when they noticed the back door of the house wide open. If you think the oldest photo of Siren Head dates back to 1966, you're mistaken. This is a photo taken at a summer camp in the Huron-Manistee National Forest in Michigan in 1900. Pay close attention to see if you notice anything special. The disappearances share 2 similarities. They were all pedestrians walking on the roadside on their way home from work or from a public place, and it was always late at night when people began to wonder why they hadn't returned yet. They disappeared after dark so that streetlights could be turned on. In this photo, we can see that the head of this entity is no longer 2 sirens, but instead, a light. This leads many to believe that Siren Head can alter details on its body to easily blend into its surroundings, and that the Siren Head shape is not its mandatory form. This is a photo from a cell phone left behind by a father and son who went missing on a camping trip in Yellowstone National Park on July 14, 2016. Many residents in this residential area were awakened late at night while sleeping, complaining of alarm sirens and bulletin boards echoing from across the lake. At 3:14 a.m. on the morning of the 6th of October 2016, a cryptic diary was written. It appear every night when I'm the only one still awake. It walk around hospitals as if gliding, its limbs waving like seaweed underwater when pushed. Am I the only one seeing it? The photo was taken from a parking lot. We heard the sound it created long before we approached the hill, and saw it standing still completely. I knew it was looking at me even though it didn't have eyes. When I turned around to look, there was just an empty space where there used to be trees. Something had moved when I turned my back to it. Many people have gone missing. A large portion of the population here has been found dead in their own homes or on nearby roads, all with punctured eardrums. I've seen many things as a cross-country truck driver. Occasionally when my vision blurred, I would see strange things. But this one seemed like someone had built it out there, like a giant scarecrow. It stood quite close to the road, yet I still couldn't make it out, and when I turned back on that road, it was gone. Many empty graves have been found at Mount Pleasant Cemetery along with very unusual traces. The police are still investigating this case. I heard tornado sirens blaring last night while fierce winds were blowing straight into my room through the window and trying to push it open. But when I asked people around, no one heard anything. The sound echoed throughout the forest, causing animals to flee their homes. The sound is getting louder, it's advancing toward you. A photo was found in a book at a house in the woods. A photo taken from the back seat of a car leaving this city, and will never return. A siren in the middle of the night disturbed flocks of birds from their nests. A strong gust of wind suddenly hit the windows of the small houses just as it began. It stopped only to leave the distant bell tolling and the sound of dogs barking throughout the small town. So what is Siren Head? Siren Head is the embodiment of anxiety, fear, panic, suffering, chaos. Its physical nature speaks volumes on the head with speakers of Siren Head. It will use those speakers to signal to its victims that they cannot escape Siren Head. The sound signals a disaster with a terrible outcome that the victims cannot avoid. So the next time you step outside, cherish the safety you have. Because Siren Head may be lurking somewhere ready to snatch you or your loved ones away. And this is Creep Factor. Thank you for taking the time to watch the entire video, and if you like this video, please click like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more interesting contents.